Welcome to Jesus Energy. I'm so grateful and excited that you're here because, wow, are we in for a treat today? But first, the Jesus Energy Project. This is a space where we move beyond beliefs, beyond actions, where we seek to embody the healing, transformative, and loving energy of Jesus through the wisdom of various spiritual teachers and healers. This project is dedicated to anyone who wants to move into a more experiential dimension of Christianity, who wants to feel free to be spiritually curious and expansive while also rooted into the love of Jesus. This project is dedicated to the ones who might be curious about their Christianity, like, am I still Christian? I don't know, but I know that I love and have a relationship with Jesus. And, this is just for us, for the ones that want to feel alive in our bodies, live out our purpose, manifest healing and consciousness in this world, and maybe cultivate some more heaven on earth. As I mentioned, today we are in for a treat. We are hearing from the divine Ahna Mikl. We get to hear how to deeply nourish our physical bodies on reigniting our power as women and ultimately becoming our own healers. We also talk about enemas, parasite cleansing, what this has to do with finding more pleasure in our lives. And speaking of pleasure, do you know how many erogenous zones we have? Because I did not, but I do after talking with Ahna. She is a gift, and I hope this inspires us to seek and find more pleasure in our day and our week ahead. So much love to you, gorgeous, stunning friend. You are filled with joy and bliss, and you emanate that from the inside out. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Oh, and one more thing. In this episode, we move through some tips and life-changing suggestions on how to add vitality and life and goodness to our life. That said, talk with your doctor, talk with your practitioner, connect with Ahna at regenerativebirth.com or Ahna_regenerativeBirth. And let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to me as well. So much love to you. And I just hope that this plants seeds for more life in our life. Let's do it. Yay, I'm here with Ahna Mikl. I'm so grateful and honored to be here with you. Ahna is a powerful voice in health and wellness, a regenerative health practitioner, a birth doula, and I'm just so excited to hear from you. And I have to say, whenever I see you like on social media, because that's usually where I where I see your work, I'm just so intrigued by your authenticity and your depth and your very clear connection with your intuition and your passion for uplifting other women. So I'm just really grateful and excited to get to know you a little bit more this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yeah.
I would love to begin simply by hearing from your voice, who you are, your mission, and or what you're up to right now.
Yeah. So, well, I guess to kind of put it simply, I'm a woman that's been on her own healing journey and a journey of personal transformation and really learning how to come back home to myself and remember who I am.
Yeah.
And I want to help other women do the same. And this is
beautiful.
Yeah, this is really, where what my work is doing. And so I'm helping women really connect to their bodies. And I do that through, we'll talk about, detoxification, different embodiment practices, pleasure practices, spirituality, right? So how do we connect deeper to our intuition? How do we cleanse the body to get to a space where it can even do that?
Wow.
What are the foods that we should be eating? How do we deeply nourish ourselves as women specifically? And then also sex education as well. So understanding more about our bodies and how our bodies work. And there's just so many elements to it. So yeah, ultimately, I, want to help women remember their divinity and help them tap into their femininity so they can become their own healer. And so whenever I'm working with women, I just say I'm not your healer, you are. It's just that we have to remember our power and remember that we can heal naturally.
Mm.
And yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm a birth doula, a regenerative health practitioner, detox specialist, and then also a Tibetan Buddhism Tantra teacher in training. So
Cool.
yes, so I will be finished with that by the end of the year, and that will be where I spend, that's going to be the majority of my work, is really helping women.
Wow.
Yeah,
What is
connect.
that exactly?
So Tantra, there's a lot of different forms of Tantra out there. This specifically is a lineage-based Tantra. So it's really about somatic sexual healing.
Wow.
So it's the weaving of light and form and sound. And so, it includes meditation, embodiment practices, pleasure practices, and building a relationship with yourself again so that you can connect back to the core of who you are. And really at the core of who we are is our sexuality. And that has
Wow.
been a taboo subject for a long time.
Yeah.
And as women, I mean, as humans, right, our natural state
Wow.
is pleasure and bliss.
Wow.
But many of us are not living in that space because
Mm.
we're carrying so much trauma. And
Wow.
so, yeah, so this is what I'm going to be combining with my birth work
Cool.
to really help women reclaim their sexuality, reclaim, help them remember that like we are here to experience life fully and
Wow.
experience a pleasurable life. And I believe that everything in my past led me up to this, which I'll kind of go into. But yeah, it's really about helping women reclaim their sexuality and love themselves again.
Wow, Anna, that's amazing. Okay, I have so many questions about that, but I would love to, if you're okay with sharing some of your story and what
Sure.
brought you to this incredible passion, like what helped to light this fire in you. This is really cool.
Yeah. So what really got me into this work was my own healing journey. So I grew up with a lot of health issues. I had severe menstrual pain, gut
Mm,
imbalances,
at a
chronic
young
lower.
age?
Yes.
Okay.
Things really started to, like, I'd always struggled with gut issues and constipation and all of that. But
Yeah.
when I got my period and I was like 13 or 14, that's
Yeah.
when everything was just kind of screaming
Yeah.
at me. And so I was put on birth control at a young age,
Yep.
as many women are. A
Yep.
lot of things were suppressed. And when I went off of birth control in my mid 20s, that's when like everything just kind of exploded again. And I spent countless visits with doctors. I got ultrasounds galore, did all the things, and I couldn't get anywhere. It was when I discovered detoxification that I was really able to start decreasing the inflammation in my body and cleansing my body of all the toxins that were really putting roadblocks in my body's natural healing processes.
Yeah.
Detoxification and learning that was really what led me to go back to school to become a detox practitioner. But, it started my healing, and I knew I was on the right path then. And it was almost like it was my commitment to the universe. Like, I'm ready to heal now. So I was like, God, I'm ready to heal. And I was open. And then
Yeah.
finally other things started coming into my world
Wow.
to help me on my path. And so after about a year of detoxification, I was led to other modalities that really helped me expand my mind and really helped me understand that there was hidden sexual trauma that I had repressed for many, many years. And I was really shown, Anna, like the cysts, the digestive distress, the anxiety, right? The disconnection from your sexuality, the back pain. Like I was able to understand, and I opened up enough where I could really see like this wasn't just from, right? We don't just get sick from eating the wrong way, but rather it's the suppressed pain that we're carrying
Wow.
as right. And it's not
Yeah.
just women, it's men too. But as we think about women, it's the suppressed emotions that are keeping us sick
Mm.
that really start the symptoms.
Mm.
And so, as painful as those realizations were, everything about my life started to make sense.
Wow.
And so I was able to start connecting the dots, that sickness and disease. It's all goes back to suppressed traumas, suppressed emotions. There's things that haven't been processed.
Yeah.
And I began to realize I had really just put on a mask my whole life, a mask that I had everything together, that, I was just this like happy-go-lucky, always smiling, and I realized I never let myself feel any of my
Wow.
feelings. And it was just this huge realization that just totally opened my mind.
Yeah.
This is when I started to reconsider like my entire life.
Mm.
And when you begin to face the deeper truths about yourself and your past and who you are and why you are the way you are, and you maybe see where you're not living authentically, you can't unsee those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so as I started to really work through like my childhood and started to realize like there's a lot of parts of me I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a lot of
Yeah.
parts of me, but so many parts of me there. I was just trying to fit in the mold thought I was supposed to fit in.
Yeah.
And many of us women, I think, find ourselves at this point, at some point, where we're questioning, like, who am I? What am I here for?
What was supportive for you during that time? And as you're having these realizations and you're getting to know these parts of you,
Uh-huh.
was it a lot of like emotional release
Mm.
and unwinding, or what was supportive in helping you get to realign with the authentic
Yeah.
parts of you?
Oh, so many things. I've dabbled
Yeah.
into so many modalities and I'll say like it has not been a cakewalk.
Yeah.
There have been days where I've found myself like really low. Um, but also days where I found myself really higher than I've ever been. But it's at like the lowest point that it makes me emotional, but like really connected with God.
Yes. Yes.
And so, gosh, I'm so thankful for all of the healers and the teachers and everyone that's come into my life to help
Yeah.
me along this process. But I mean, I will say like meditation has truly, without meditation, I simply wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
The nights where it was hard to sleep or I was scared of the dark or, like those things that we have to work through as we're healing our inner child. It's just like tools like that. I cannot recommend enough. But yeah, meditation, acupuncture.
Mm.
Acupuncture has been huge for me. I
Has
cannot
it?
recommend enough. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Qigong, which is like a spiritual practice. I call it an energetic detox.
Cool.
That helped me move. I also wouldn't be where I am without Qigong. Journaling, breath
Yes.
work.
Yes.
Breath work has helped me tap into emotions that
Yes.
I would never be able to access otherwise. Have you done
Yes.
breath work too?
Yes. And I
Yeah.
also do notice huge shifts and lightness in my being. And funny, I feel like
Yeah.
this week I'm like, I am craving a good breathwork session. Just like I need to, when I start to feel clogged, and like heavy or weighted down, I know it's like, I think I'm due for another big breathwork. But I don't know if this will make sense. And if you don't want to answer, that's okay. But as you have like realizations, or memories or emotions that you feel called to address, do they arise from your being as like a memory or an inner knowing that's planted in you, or like a voice? I think I'm just so intrigued how we all connect, and hearing from other people helps me to connect with myself more. So I'm just curious what in that process, what that was like for you, or it continues to be like.
Yeah, it's a continual process, because what I've kind of discovered is you're not going to be shown what you're not ready for. Like you're not going to have to process something that you're not ready, that your soul's not ready to process.
Yes.
So in the very beginning, it was just trickles of knowings.
Wow.
And then as I was healing, as I was getting stronger, then it was dreams. And then it was actual like visions in my
Yeah.
third eye or
Wow.
like flashbacks.
Yeah.
But a lot of it for me, they're like just like deep inner knowings. It's just like a knowing. So it's kind of a combination of all the things, but the biggest piece is like, it's whatever you're ready for is what's going to come forward
Yeah.
for you to process, whatever
That's really
emotion,
cool.
whatever
Yeah.
memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. You mentioned detoxification. Can you just offer like a brief, for those that aren't familiar with that, just like a brief description on what that actually is, what that looks like?
Yeah. Detoxification from a physical standpoint, like physical detoxification is the actual cleansing of the cells in your body. It's the cleansing of the colon, of the liver, of your entire physical body through specific foods and specific herbs. And this is such a crucial part of healing because we could be doing all the emotional work, all the spiritual work. We could be doing everything, but if we're not mastering our physical body, the body, it holds on. It will not release. We'll still have, so we'll still have roadblocks constantly. So it's like certain things in our environment, like heavy metals, pesticides, parasites, like all of these things are low vibrational things that are inside of our bodies because of the world that we live in. So when we have, let's say, suppressed emotions that we haven't processed, traumas, things like that, they attach because these are also lower frequency. They're attaching to the heavy metals. They're attaching to the parasites.
Wow.
They become like one, like they're parasites wouldn't be able to thrive in your body if you were in a state of joy and bliss. And we didn't have, if we didn't have those stuck traumas or emotions. So that's why this work goes hand in hand, because as we're doing the emotional work, as we're doing, the inner child work, all of that, if you're also cleansing parasites, well, you're going to see some giant worms come out of your body, because as you're releasing the old, you have to get those things out of your body too. So I can talk more about parasites too.
I would love
eventually.
to. Yeah.
You want to go there now?
We can even go into it right now. Sure. Because I'm like, when I bring this up at the casual dinner conversation, people don't often like want to jump into and talk about it. I'm like, I love talking about parasites. Let's get rid of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they're a lot more common than, I just think moving through studying regenerative health, not to the extent that you have, but in what I have studied, I was shocked to learn at how common they are and blown away to experience how different I feel when I move through a parasite. So I don't know, talk to me about anything and everything parasite.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Have you seen like big shifts in your clients, yourself?
Yeah. Huge shifts. So I have a lot of beliefs about parasites, but parasites, so like what I will say is we all have them.
Yeah.
All of us. There's no one on earth that's walking around without parasites in their body. And we're never going to completely get rid of them. They do serve a purpose. They clean up waste inside of the body.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is that if we have a dirty body, which I don't know anybody that doesn't have toxins in their body, parasites replicate. They feed off of those things. They eat heavy metals. That's their food source. They love fear. They love, right?
Yeah.
They love all of the lower frequency emotions that are inside of the body. So they thrive off of, if you have an unprocessed trauma and it's sitting right here, right? Well, they're going to just, they're just going to be sitting there thriving off of that. And no matter how many parasite cleanses you do, if you're not also addressing that, right? They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But they do. The problem is when they're like replicating, right? Because we have a backed up system and they do influence our thoughts. our
Wow.
emotions, our actions. Like there's the rabbit hole kind of goes deep on like
Yeah.
parasites and
Yeah.
kind of what I think about them from a spiritual perspective as well.
Yeah.
But my biggest like stance on it is like we should be cleansing them 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay, that was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the same time should be doing our emotional work, inner child work, working on
Yes.
regulating the nervous system. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm currently doing a ton of inner child work.
Cool.
And there was an instance about a week ago where I was working with one of my mentors on releasing an old memory. And right after I had my session with her, I went to do an enema really quick because I was just like released so much.
Yeah.
2 giant worms came
Really?
out of
Okay,
my
I've
body.
actually never done an enema. I think I need to do that.
Well, that is like one of my biggest tips to change your
Really?
life. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. And
I'm convinced I need to do that.
I'm doing a group parasite cleanse starting March 17th. If you're like, I want to do enemas and cleanse parasites, and
Yes.
I'm leading people through that.
That's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So enemas too?
Yep. Yep. So
Cool.
whenever I have people go on parasite herbs, I'll be having them do enemas, and I teach them how to do enemas as well, because what we want to do is we want to fill the colon with liquid so that it dislodges the worms from the colon walls.
I think that's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
That's wow. And when you said that they can like attach to fear, I'm not even sure I know how to word this question. How does it do that? Fear as like an energetic storage actually in the body?
Mhm.
Because I think I understand that we can hold emotion in our body, but like how does that actually physically like show up or manifest itself? Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just think about it, parasites are living things.
Yeah.
They're living things inside of your body. And things in the world thrive off of lower frequency things, right? Like
Yes.
fear
Yes.
and terror and right, all those
Yep.
things.
Yep.
So that's where I place parasites in the category of.
Yes. So
So
fascinating.
yeah, so like and so that's why oftentimes when we do parasite cleansing, at least for me, like at least for the first week, I'm feeling super low. I'm crying all the time.
Yep.
I'm in my head.
Yep.
I was telling someone the other day because I'm parasite cleansing right now. And when I first started it, I was like, I think like I'm supposed to experience more suffering in this lifetime or something. And what I was saying just wasn't making any sense. I'm like,
Wow.
right? No, this is the end of that cycle. I am working through my healing.
Right.
But then I got a dream that night that was the parasites influencing my thoughts.
That's amazing.
So
Yes.
I tell people it doesn't always feel good.
Yes. I think that's really, really important to
Yeah.
note. Because a lot of times, like, people will get scared off when they first try it. And then they're like,
Yeah.
nope. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because you
too
kind
much.
you don't feel yourself. Well, that is because the die-off is happening and you're literally feeling their emotions. But what we have to realize is we have to go through those periods to purge that stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're influencing, right, the small anxieties that maybe you're experiencing on a daily basis.
Wow.
So like, and they're wreaking havoc on the nervous system. So when you get these out, I mean, truly, like the more and more you release,
Yeah.
oh, you just feel so much better.
That's so amazing. Yeah. I love that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also so inspired by your connection with your intuition. And especially right now, I feel like we are all inundated with do this, do that, all of the health rules on how much protein or macros, whatever we should be eating, right? And you seem to take a different approach. And you're like, I connect to my intuition on what is in alignment for the vitality of my body. So that is it sounds very freeing. And I would just love to know how you connect with your intuition in order to understand what to eat, but also just in general in life.
Yeah. No, good questions. So this has been a real journey for me because I was very disconnected from my intuition for a lot of my life. And I think that
Yeah.
was like I'm still learning this, but I'm learning how to trust myself again.
Mm.
There's so many, like you said, there's so many things out there that are saying, do this, do that, do this for your health, like do this to strengthen your intuition, right? Do these practices.
Yeah.
But really, ultimately, it's so simple. Like the best way to get more in touch with yourself is to purify yourself.
Mm.
And so that means purify yourself physically through physical detox. And it means purifying yourself like energetically through breath work,
Yeah.
through meditation, through prayer, through things like that. And because the clear channel that you are,
Yes.
your higher self can then actually merge with your physical body. That's the whole goal of healing.
Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful.
The whole goal is the higher soul incarnation.
Yep.
That's what we're here to do. So
Yeah.
we can all bring our gifts and our medicine. And so we have to clear this physical vessel.
Yes.
And so we do that through the foods that we're eating, eliminating alcohol and processed foods. And but it doesn't mean that. So I used to be in the camp of like, I have to be plant-based, and I was so rigid. And then I started to get a lot of guidance that I was freeing myself. I actually got these specific words. Ahna, you're freeing yourself from the concept of veganism. And I started to be shown raw milk and meat full of like nutrients. And there were so many things that women actually need to deeply
Okay.
nourish their body
Yeah.
outside of just plants.
Yeah.
And I've continually gotten dreams about this because I just keep asking, like, I always want to make sure I'm on the right track.
Yep.
And I shouldn't, there's no right or wrong. It really is about following where you're being led. But I was
Yeah.
getting cravings for like red meat. And I was like, is this okay? Like, I've always been someone to follow the rules, but I'm getting out of that space and moving more into what am I being called to?
Yeah.
Like, I have red meat a lot now and I feel great. And so it's really about listening to where your body's calling you from a nourishment perspective.
Yep.
And so that's just, I kind of went on a tangent about the nutrition stuff, but really it's about, detoxing your body, nourishing your body with clean foods, doing practices to release trapped emotions,
Yes.
and studying yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So becoming super self-aware and
Yes.
pay attention to your triggers, spend time with yourself. Like
Yes.
we're here to grow and evolve and bring our medicine to the world.
Yeah.
And the way that this world is going to change and that everybody's going to heal is through us healing ourselves.
Mm.
And so, from an intuition perspective, I really don't think that there's one, there shouldn't be rigid practices in place
Yes.
to try to like
Yes.
strengthen it. It's
Yes.
no, how do you become your best self?
Yes.
And the more you align with your soul's path and you follow your
Yes.
heart and you make the
Yeah.
changes you're supposed to make and you eat the foods you're supposed to eat and
Yeah.
right? You create the boundaries you're supposed to create. Like your higher self, you incarnates
Yes.
into your physical body
That's beautiful.
and you become more and more and more connected.
And what I hear from you too is like, I feel great after I eat certain things. And like you evaluate and you're honest. And like you said, you're self-aware and truly paying attention to that as almost like a self-study and observation.
Yep.
Which I think is so beautiful because I think it can be really easy to like shut down, if when I eat like certain chips, I'm like, turn myself off, eat like my avocado oil chips and, and it's fine. Like,
no, I
judging
get
or
it.
shaming myself for it, but just having that like honest self-feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that I was curious about too, do you do like muscle testing with intuition at all?
I don't. I do, like I did learn it.
Yeah.
But for me, It's more about like I feel like when it's hard to explain, but it's like
Yeah.
when you have an inner knowing about something,
Yeah. Well, and I guess I'm
you,
asking because I can't do it on myself. I lie to
yeah.
myself to get an answer that I want. And like this,
Yeah.
you know, those like things, what is it, a pendulum practice?
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, this is just,
No, it's biased because you
I
can make
can't,
it swing.
and I do,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
do too. I can't use those.
But so I am kind of, I've been curious recently is like what I am trying to have the response be. Like, is that actually my intuition? Like trying to push forward, or is it like a tainted response? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of?
Yeah,
I
I
don't know. I've
do.
just been curious about that.
I
But
do know
you
what
said
you
it's like an
mean.
inner knowing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and the thing is, like, we have to be super discerning
Yeah.
because, yeah, like we live in a world of duality. And this also might sound like kind of crazy, but it's like, okay, we have parasites in the
I
body,
love
right?
crazy. Yeah.
So we have parasites in the body. Well, if we're muscle testing ourselves for something, right? And it's like, yeah, you want the cake. Well, that's because the parasite inside wants the cake,
That's wild. Yeah.
or saying the
Yeah.
cake is going to be good for you, right?
Yes.
So that's why we always have to be like super discerning with everything.
Yeah.
But what I've found is that usually my intuition, there's not like a deep emotion attached to it.
That's right. Okay.
So,
Yep.
so if there's like, if I'm like thinking about something and I'm like, oh, but this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and there's like some sort of fear attached,
Yep.
I'm like, that's not my inner knowing. But if you're like looking at something and it's like, oh, I think that would be, it's like, I think that would be good for me, or your eyes are just drawn to something,
Yes.
that's usually like your higher soul guiding you.
I love that.
And I mean, once you realize that you are always being communicated to,
Yeah.
again, something you can't unsee, like you don't want to unsee, right? Because it's like you're always being guided. So I always tell my clients, like, really pay attention. What are the license plates that are coming in front of you? What numbers are showing up? What's happening in your dreams?
Yes. Yes.
Did you overhear a conversation that sounds like it might be an answer to your problem? You know, like, do you have
That
song
is
lyrics?
so true.
Right? Song lyrics playing in your head for no reason. I mean,
Yes.
every morning I wake up with a new song.
Do you
And
really? I love that.
they know how to speak to me now, and I love music, and so it's what keeps me going is like this
Yes.
ongoing heavenly
Yes.
guidance, because we
Yes.
are all guided.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally hear you. And it is like my new favorite way to live. It just makes life so exciting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
To
it's
be
how
on the
life is supposed
lookout.
to be. It's how
I
it's
love it.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're leading women through a detox. So let's see. And isn't that one with the intention of helping us like to purify, to connect more deeply with our femininity?
So I
Or
used to take women through like 10-week soul detoxes, and
okay.
it was a physical detox, but then also like we're meeting every week and I'm teaching them about all of these topics.
Yes.
But the one that I'm doing in March is 5 weeks, and it's specifically for parasite cleansing. And
Got
so
it.
this is actually going to include men and women,
Cool.
because I love when partners do this together,
Yeah.
because as one evolves, the other needs to come up, and otherwise the gap
That's
gets
beautiful.
too big. We have
Yep.
to do this work together.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing in March, which is similar, and we talk about similar things,
Yeah.
but really like, to help women connect more with their femininity again,
Yes.
we have to help the body feel safe again.
Well,
Many of us women don't feel safe in our bodies or safe in the world, and it's unconscious. We don't recognize that. I never recognized that in myself until I really started to integrate little Ahna.
mm,
And this lives within our DNA. It's from unprocessed past experiences, and some of it's generational, and
yeah.
But what ends up happening is it puts us more in like this masculine mode. We operate more from our masculine. And I say this because I literally was like this my whole life, where we're in protection mode. We're guarding our hearts. We're always trying to stay busy, doing the hard workouts, right? Being productive, action oriented, hyper
Wow.
independent,
Yep.
boss babe,
Yep.
like suppressing our emotions. This is not where we're going to find true joy and happiness in life as women.
Mm-hmm.
It goes against, and I'm not saying all of those things are bad, because we have both masculine and feminine within
Yep.
us.
Yep.
But we have gotten so far away from our
Yeah.
biological design
Yep.
of femininity, of allowing ourselves to receive, of resting, feeling our emotions and nurturing. And that, yeah, we've just, I think part of the problem, I shouldn't say problem, but part of us being disconnected from our femininity is, I think a lot of it is that we don't feel safe in the body. So through the act of purification, through the physical
Yes.
detox,
Yes.
through breath work, through meditation, like we start to naturally fall more back into our femininity.
And then what is the connection with our feminine energy and pleasure?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, do we feel comfortable receiving pleasure? That's like the biggest. Do we feel comfortable receiving and safe? I mean, I'm kind of an open book with like all of this, because
Yeah.
this is the
It's
work that I'm
really
eventually
Yes. Yeah.
gonna teach. But like, I was so disconnected from my sexuality. I thought I was broken. Like, I just thought, oh, I'm never going to enjoy intimacy, or I'm never gonna have an orgasm. Like, it's just not I don't know, that's just not me. Other women, okay. Well, pleasure and orgasms, I would say, are the most healing thing for the female body,
Wow.
and actually so necessary.
Wow.
So necessary. Like, it's just necessary. We literally reverse age
Wow.
with pleasure.
Wow.
And like I said, that's our birthright. That's our
Yeah.
natural state, is a state of like bliss and joy and happiness. And so the connection between pleasure and femininity, I mean, I think a lot of it has to go back to like receiving, feeling worthy, but feeling safe. So a lot of it is about, and a lot of the work that I'm doing with women and going to be doing more of, is like, how do we feel safe in our bodies, and how do we
Yes.
feel comfortable enough to receive?
That's so beautiful. And then how does that, like pleasure, for example, play a role in childbirth? I know with your work as a birth doula, and I mean, I'm just so curious to hear about that. I had beautiful birthing experiences that I loved.
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't call them pleasurable. They were intense. But that was one thing, like, I've never wanted to change them. But after reading your work, I'm like, oh, that would have been really cool to explore that. I don't know. I'm just curious. Yeah. How does pleasure play a role in childbirth? And what does that
Yeah.
teach us about
Yeah.
ourselves as women?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different avenues I want to explore with this. So
Yes.
the first being, one of the practices that I do with my clients as a birth doula is I talk to them about, okay, let's write down all the things that we think that birth is, right? Okay, what do we think birth is? We think birth is magical. We think birth is beautiful. We think birth is intimate. Birth is sacred. Okay, now let's list out, what do we think sex is? Okay, it's intimate. It's sacred.
Wow.
It can be magical,
Yes.
be blissful, right? All of these, it's like, whoa, they're actually like the same. Birth is the most sacred, like, sexual experience
Yeah, that gives me goosebumps.
a woman and a partner will ever have.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and birth has become so medicalized that there's been a lot of fear
Yeah.
about childbirth. I used to have a ton of fear about childbirth. Like, I don't know if I can do that, right? And even if you just think about all the buttons, all the cords, all the everything in a birthing room, typically, right, at a hospital, the number of
Yeah.
people coming in, checking on you, and I'm not saying it's wrong to go that route, but what I'm saying is the more interrupted that experience is, the harder the laboring process is going to be. If we think about birth the same way as sex, the more safe you feel, the
Wow.
more loved you feel, the more uninterrupted, dark,
Cool.
romantic
Yes.
lighting,
Yeah.
right? Our five senses being engaged, soft music
Wow.
playing.
Wow.
This is when this is the environment that baby drops down.
Wow.
So it's like the more oxytocin we have flowing through the body, the more easier of a birth we're going to have. But
Mm.
if we're in fear and our pelvis is tight and we're contracted and we have a random doctor coming in and saying, I hear an arrhythmia. Does everyone hear that? Right? Like, you can't let go and relax.
Yeah.
The same hormones that are needed for birth are the same hormones that are needed for an orgasm.
Wow.
It's the same. And so the reason that we have so many erogenous zones inside of our body is because we're here to birth new life. And
Wow.
actually, pleasure lessens pain so much. In
Wow.
fact, when a woman is orgasming, you like almost do anything pain-wise and it's not going to be felt.
Fascinating. Yeah.
So that's why it's actually designed that way. God actually designed the female's body, like our
Fascinating.
anatomy is
Yeah.
for that.
Wow. Okay, can I ask you, what are the erogenous zones? I don't even think that I know.
There's
Can I
so
ask that?
many. Yeah, there's a lot of different erogenous zones.
Okay.
Women can actually have 11 different types of orgasm.
Huh. I
And
didn't know that.
Yes. Women can have 11 different types of orgasms. So
Cool.
there's different erogenous zones on the body and within the womb as well. So like,
Wow.
there's different spots, right? You often hear of like the clitoris, which that is the area of the body with the most nerve endings that most women experience pleasure with. Then there's like the G spot, which is like, near going in.
Yep.
Then there's a spot called like the A spot, the P spot, the U spot, the cervix can orgasm, the whole,
Wow, really?
yes, the whole vaginal wall can orgasm. You can have an elbow orgasm. You can have a full body orgasm. You can experience, there's different
That's
erogenous
amazing.
zones.
And
But
like, why aren't we talking about this more?
Right.
That brings me back to your just like stunning perspective on pleasure. How can we like heal our relationship with pleasure? Just like something small that we can do to like restore or just enliven that relationship.
Yeah. Well, this is part of the work that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to be launching a class on reclaiming your sexuality.
Cool.
Because this is just not talked about enough.
Yeah.
I would say like one simple practice you could do just to kind of start cultivating the just thinking about pleasure more is like doing something like pleasure journaling. So, like writing down, right? Just every night, maybe write down 3 things that brought you pleasure today, and maybe write down something you're going to do that brings you pleasure tomorrow. So that can be, it doesn't have to be sexual. It's, okay, did you light the candle next to your bath and like that brought you pleasure? Or did you enjoy the dark chocolate or enjoy the big plate of nachos that you've just been dying to have?
Yes.
Right? Like it's
beautiful.
We're meant to live from a place of pleasure and joy and bliss. That's why we're here. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And it's funny too, because I do feel like I've just been, I had someone sick in our home this week and I could tell my body was like working harder and to fight and just to like keep life moving through me and just,
Mhm.
sleeping on the couch next. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's fascinating to me how quickly that, like, taking pleasure in life kind of falls to the side. And then I just feel like I'm moving slower and things get
Mhm.
heavier. And so I'm just really grateful for you reminding me of that. And I'm like, yes, wow, that is a missing ingredient right now. Like,
Mhm.
it makes me excited to practice that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many
Yeah.
different things eventually too that we can even schedule another talk for. But
I would love
yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. And I want to be respectful of your time and so many other things. So before
Yeah, I'm
we'll
good.
we'll close with rapid fire questions. Before we do that, I would
Yeah.
love to ask you, you're such a genius when it comes to vitality and how to feel alive in our body. And so many people just, don't feel good in their body or like feel at
Yeah.
home. What are like, one or two small things that people can do to just reintroduce some
Mm.
life or healing into
Yeah.
their day?
Um, I would say coffee enemas.
I love this, and
I really would.
I am like such a freak. I love healing and all the healing
Yeah.
things, and I have been scared of enemas. I've never done
Mm.
it.
I can send you my guide. I created like a guide to
Cool. I would
yeah,
love that.
to
Yeah.
help you like understand, okay, how do I do this? What do I need to buy? Like,
Yes.
but I will tell you, if everybody could start doing some coffee enemas to help cleanse the colon and the liver,
Wow.
like it can change your life. And I've had clients
Okay.
that have been so resistant to it,
Yeah.
right? Because it sounds intimidating. Like it's like I'm putting coffee up my butt and
Yeah.
then,
Right.
like it's like it
Right.
sounds
I
crazy.
don't want to do that. Yeah.
But trust me, and then every client's like, how did I go my whole life without this?
Wow.
So it really, especially like just there's a lot of changes on earth that are going to be happening over the course of the next like 2-3 years. And
Yeah.
we have to choose healing.
Mm.
I don't want to say have to, but we're going to get really uncomfortable in our bodies if we don't. If
Wow. Yes. Yes.
so,
Yeah.
so
I just feel like a resounding yes when you
yeah.
say that. Yeah.
I say if you do one thing, do the coffee enemas, and of course, like clean eating and stuff like that. But yeah, enemas and meditations, and I can share with
Mm.
you some of my favorite meditations. But I follow. There's a spiritual teacher. His name is Master Ko, and if you look him up on YouTube, he has just hundreds and hundreds of lectures and
Think I've maybe
meditations.
done one of his now that you say that.
You generate good karma, you are
Yes.
flushing your body. It's like I simply wouldn't be where I am without them. Like I cannot say enough.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you glow. Like if people are just listening and don't see video, like you have the most gorgeous
Thank you.
glowing skin and
Thank you.
you're a really cool, powerful human. Glowing and powerful and connected are what really come to my mind with
Thank you
you.
so much.
And I could really talk to you for like another hour. I feel like we just scratched the surface, but I would
Yeah.
love to do it again.
Yes, we should.
So, yeah, well, I guess before we do rapid fire questions, where
Yeah.
can people connect with you? Where can they find your work? Yeah, and learn from you.
Yes. Yeah, so you can try to post like free education on Instagram, and I'm definitely going to be posting more and more about female anatomy and female sexuality and just kind of helping women understand themselves and their bodies
Cool.
more. So Instagram, it's Ahna_regenerative birth, and then my website, which is regenerativebirth.com.
Awesome. I'll share
Yeah.
that in the show notes too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, if you're up for it, I'd love to just do some rapid fire questions.
Yeah, let's
And
do it.
with this, like whatever kind of comes. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
starting with, when do you notice God's presence from within your body?
God's presence is like a fatherly energy to me, like someone I know is looking after me and is in the driver's seat.
Wow.
And so, like, in my darkest moments, like, I know God is with me. It's just like this for me, the way that it feels in my body is it's like a loving, a loving father that is always has my back no matter what. Like, he's always in the driver's seat.
That's so beautiful. That gave me tingles too.
Mm.
And how about the presence of Jesus? Is that
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, the presence of Jesus, when I think about Jesus, he's more of like a walking example of what we should all strive to be. Like to me, Jesus was a man. He was a man of God, someone who aimed to help us remember our divinity, not someone, he wasn't someone that wanted to be worshiped and bowed down to, but rather a man who was like really showing us what we're capable of.
Yeah.
And that we all have Christ consciousness within us. It's just that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we have to, how do we get ourselves there? And
Yeah.
Jesus reminds me of what's possible.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, Jesus reminds me of what's possible.
Yeah.
What does faith mean to you?
Faith means following your guidance before it makes sense to you.
Mm.
It's, to me, almost like faith is an openness and a trust
Mm.
with God, and just knowing that like no matter what, you are always being guided, you're always being cared for. It's like one giant trust fall.
Mm.
Um
I love that. And you have mentioned a little bit, but I love hearing on this from you. Like, how are you hearing from God right now? And if you care to share, what are you hearing?
So yeah, how I'm hearing from God, yeah, I kind of went into this like song lyrics, license plates, dreams. I get a ton of guidance in my dreams through my meditations. And whenever I need something, whenever I'm looking for guidance on something that I can't necessarily trust myself on yet, like I'll
Mm.
ask, I'll pray before bed
Mm.
and I'll say, please show me next steps. And sure enough, as long as we ask, we
Yes.
just forget to ask.
Yes, I've been forgetting recently.
Yeah, and I forget so often to ask for help.
Yep.
Right? Oh, if there's a financial struggle, like just ask. We just have to ask and we forget. And so yeah, those are the ways that I ask for guidance and that I'm given guidance. I will say like what I'm hearing lately, what I've been hearing is like keep going. Like you don't
Mm.
even know how good it's going to get. Like
Wow.
the plans I have for you are so much greater than like you realize. Because like I mentioned, I would say like this past year has probably been the hardest year of my life.
Mm.
Just many transitions. I left my marriage. I left old friendships. left so many things, but it was all guided. And God has a plan for my life. And I have so much faith in that. And so, yeah, it's just this constant, like, keep going. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I hope to end every episode with just a small invitation to healing. And you've offered so many,
Yeah.
but just like a small mindset shift or a small practice if you feel led to invite us into for the week ahead.
Yeah. Well, I would say definitely do the pleasure practice.
Yes,
So
yes, thank you.
maybe think about one thing that brings you pleasure. And for just the simple act of it brings me pleasure. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone else.
Yes.
It could be snuggling your cat near the fire, whatever it is.
Yep.
The other thing I would say too is like take this into your week, take this into your month, next couple months, but really take 5 to 10 minutes and sit with yourself and really ask your heart, like, is there something you've been wanting like to tell me? Is there something that I've been ignoring? Is there a change that I've just kind of been, right? Like, you're supposed to do it,
Yeah.
but that's the hard route. The heart's calling is usually sometimes what we don't want to do, but it's what's going to bring you freedom.
Amazing.
So just connecting to your heart more.
Yes. I really want to sit with that. That's really beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom
Yeah.
today, Ahna. Such a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Such a joy.
you. Thank you for having me.